I think this life is addictive, whatever you're in, and it's pretty easy to just fall into it and never get out.
Yes.
Or at least for a long time. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. As you can see, it's a little different. We're doing a remote interview with Richard and Chris, and they are living on two different motorcycles. And so welcome, Richard and Chris. Tell us your channel so people can go and find you.
All right, our channel is Two Wheels Big Life. It's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the same, Two Wheels Big Life. And we also have a website that's also the same also. That's all Two Wheels Big Life leads to the same web page.
And you are going full-time now, have been, on a motorcycle. So how long have you been full-time?
We've been full-time since April 22nd of 2020.
So that's what, nearly 8 months. That's a long time now. That's very good. And beyond motorcycles, tell us about that.
So we're on two motorcycles. Chris rides her own. She has a BMW K1200 GT, and I ride an 09 Road Glide, Harley Davidson Road Glide, and we pull a Bush Tech trailer. And in that Bush Tech trailer, I've added some solar, so we have power to do our channel, and we have a big Kingdom 6 tent and all the gear and stuff you need to just live out of, live out on the road.
So two bikes, and why motorcycles? Well, why live on the road? But most couples your age are in big RVs or at least vans.
That's a good question, actually.
Yes.
What led us here is the fact that our house got too big. Our kids left. We needed to downsize, and we realized we had this empty slate, this new season coming up of being empty nesters, and we didn't know what we wanted to do next. We weren't satisfied or happy with our 9 to 5. We were ready to step out and do something a little bit more exciting. And so we looked in the garage, and we already had the motorcycles in the trailer there versus trying to get into an RV. We didn't know if we'd like it, or a van, or a small cabin. We had no idea what our next step was. So we thought, let's just take the summer off and go explore the United States on our motorcycles.
We knew we wanted to take the motorcycles. We knew we wanted to take the motorcycles with us. So we thought about getting a big 45-foot fifth wheel and, something really big and something we can live out of, because we had a big house and 3 kids. And then we, like Chris said, we literally looked in the garage and like, well, let's just take the bikes. Let's do this for the summer. And we just stuck with it. It's just
we kept going.
We just kept going. We kept going.
We forgot to hit the stop button.
Yes.
I think this life is addictive, whatever you're in, and it's pretty easy to just fall into it and never get out.
Yes.
Or at least for a long time.
Yeah, it's so true.
So you're young. You look young. I should say. Are you retired?
Well, what's the definition? She's an accountant, right? Chris is an accountant. So she says we're not retired. But what is the definition of retired? Is it just not working? Not working in the 9 to 5?
I guess so.
Okay, then we're retired.
No, I guess it's having enough money for most of us, the traditional American, the golden years, are having enough money to live on and not needing to work and being 60, 65. That's the traditional view.
Yeah, no, we're not retired. We always thought we stepped out with a small amount of savings, and we've always thought, we've watched several of your videos, actually a lot of your videos, and we always thought that we would be able to get into work camping, Amazon, beet harvest. We'd be able to do something to kind of just supplement us until we get to the age where we can collect Social Security, I guess.
Right. And right now we're living off of a small savings that we got from the house. And
why a motorcycle?
I think we just love motorcycles. I grew up on motorcycles.
Yeah.
Used to live out in the country, and across the street had hundreds of acres of Boy Scout land, and so have been riding since I was probably 8 years old.
Yeah.
So, and cars are boring. Sorry.
They are boring. Yes, no question.
Changes. The motorcycles, though, we've like we said before, it was what we had at the time, and we knew we wanted to bring those with us no matter what we're doing. And it just, like we have comments right now that some people say, hey, why don't you guys two up? Why aren't you two up on one bike? And, you could save money that way. And you don't understand the motorcycles if you're, if people are asking that, because you're like, well, we want to be out there on the road and out in the elements, riding our iron horses,
Yeah, it's just a different way to travel, and to me it's more exciting and it's more fun, and it kind of allows you to more live in the moment. Your motorcyclists have a saying of it's the journey and not just the destination. And I feel whenever I'm in a car, the destination becomes more important. I just want to get there, get out of the car. When I'm on a motorcycle, it's the journey.
Whole thing. It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's the journey.
I do follow your channel. And I did notice in your last video was all about how cold it is living in a tent. I know you happen to be in New Mexico now.
Yeah.
And of course it rains and it snows, and you run into some dirt roads and they get sketchy on great big motorcycles and touring motorcycles. And so there's some discomfort, a lot of discomfort that goes along with that adventure. So it really truly is an adventure. How are you dealing with that?
We're doing pretty good with that, actually. We went out, we splurged a little bit and got some very good cots for us. Now they're still only 5 inches off the ground, they're still short, but they're comfortable. And we chose the tent that we did, the Kingdom 6 REI tent, is because we wanted the space. So when it did get rainy or cold or really bad wind, we'd have a place to go to and not be just sitting down all the time, a place we could stand and change and,
Yeah. It's been really good, actually.
Yeah, it's a 14x6. So it's got a pretty good footprint.
Right. One problem I would see is that when you're traveling distances, for me in my van, if I'm somewhere and I just want to pull over and sleep, I'll find a truck stop or a Walmart or a Cracker Barrel or whatever. And you can't do that because you're not setting up your tent in a Cracker Barrel or at a Walmart or a truck stop. So what do you do in that situation? You just keep going until you find a place to boondock, or do you rent a motel for the night?
Yeah, that has been, I think, of the stresses, I think that for me has been the highest stress is sometimes in the morning we'll get up and we won't know where we're going to be camping that night. Right. And especially this past summer has been harder because we do like to boondock, but we don't mind also staying in U.S. Forest campgrounds or, a state campground, but they're full.
Everything's full.
Yeah, we've done a video, our Mount Hood video, where we've been searching. We'll go somewhere. Richard will get on my motorcycle, which is better for off-road, and he'll go wander the trails looking. We could take all day trying to find a campsite, and that does get stressful.
We've gotten in the habit of traveling on certain days, Sundays and Wednesdays, so we can find places when people aren't at the campsites, because we'll set it up and have it as a base camp for 3 or 4 or 5 days and explore the area.
Yes, there's a program called Bunka-Biker.
Yeah, network. It's a network.
It's a network that we utilize, especially if we want to cover a lot of ground. So if we know that we're going to do, a 300-400 mile day, we don't want to have to set the tent up that night. We'll look and see on the map if there is a Bunka-Biker there, somebody who has offer to open up their house and they have a spare room and a spare bathroom, and we'll contact them and we'll stay with them. And we've done that quite a bit this summer.
And we met some awesome people with that. It's just, people are just so great. They're so kind and sweet. It's pretty cool. It's a great little network, great community there.
So I guess for a lot of people, they can't imagine that your tent, your trailer is big enough. So I'm sure you must have full dressers. You have the luggage and you can get everything you need in that trailer. That must be true because you're doing it.
Yeah, it's a Bush Tech Roadstar trailer, and it has about 22 cubic feet of cargo space. On it. And the unique thing about those trailers is that they have an independent suspension. So they're designed really well to pull behind a motorcycle. Also, I've added solar power to it. So I added a 50 amp hour lithium lithium phosphate battery and a 100-watt solar panel onto it, along with a 500-watt inverter, so we can run all of our electricity. So it not only carries everything we need, plus the power.
I always have to ask this, and with you, it's particularly important question. How are you going to the bathroom?
How are we going to the bathroom?
Well, depends on where we are.
It depends on where we are, for sure. We do have a shovel, and we do have ways of disposing it properly. And I don't know if I should say that, but we've been to some places that were just, it was really sad this year. It was like, my goodness, people, can't you clean up after yourselves?
Yeah.
It was disappointing in that area,
Yes.
in some things, but for the most part, it's
we have
behind a bush.
Yes.
Right.
Or if we're in a U.S. Forest Service campground, they have vault toilets there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And we've got a portable shower to be clean, and biodegradable soaps and that stuff. We've even have a water filtration system, and so as long as we're near a water source, we can filter water and have drinkable water, potable water to use, and then have our shower bag to be able to clean up. And
we're able to just go and live off grid. We really are. The only thing that we struggle with is we have a small Yeti cooler, which only holds up to 4 days worth of food. So after 4 days, we've got to head out of the hills and go find a grocery store.
We've got to find a grocery store with some vegetables. We travel. Chris has the container, has a water jug on the back of her bike that we strap down, but she never travels with it full. So we have to go to a camp, and that camp either has to be within 5 minutes of a motorcycle ride to fill up that blue jug, or there needs to be a stream nearby, or a lake, a water source, or something like that.
Yes.
Well, how about gas mileage? You're running 2 vehicles, but motorcycles get pretty good gas mileage. So how is that working out?
It's doing pretty good. With both of the bikes, and with mine pulling the trailer, we get probably about 30 miles to the gallon, somewhere in there. And we found out, because her bike will get really, really good mileage. And if I'm bucking a headwind pulling the trailer with everything on it, I'll get below 30. So it pretty much averages out to a little over 30 miles to the gallon for fuel. And we both have 6-gallon tanks on our bikes.
So that's a long ways. And if you divide that in half, you're still getting somewhere between maybe 15 and 20 combined.
No, that's combined.
That's combined.
We're getting 30 miles to the gallon combined.
Oh, wow. Then you're still getting fantastic gas mileage.
Yes.
Correct. Yes. Yes. Yeah, we're doing decent. Even pulling the trailer. My bike with the trailer alone will get, at its worst, will get 28 miles to the gallon. And then like her bike will do 50 consistently, 50 miles to the gallon consistently.
Well, I guess the big question is, after 8 months, that's enough to know you've gone through some winter weather. I'm sure you've gone through lots of rain and bad weather.
Yes.
Are you glad you're on motorcycles?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very much. Yeah.
Wouldn't do it any other way.
No hesitation.
No.
No hesitation.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, she's pretty tough.
I guess so.
If we were to go into something, one thing that this whole experience has done for us is it made us realize that we would have been miserable in a big RV, in a big rig of some sort. We would have been miserable on that, because it would have been much more expensive. You can boondock, but you can't boondock as much. So if we go to another set of bikes, there will probably be some type of an adventure bike, so we can get off road, because we're finding ourselves off road a lot. But then we'd also have a small camper, a real small camper that we can get into the state parks and some of the national forests where you're restricted on length. And we would carry the bikes on the back of a truck.
And that's why I think it was so beneficial for us just to step out and sell our house and step out with what we had, versus going and buying something and then realizing, oh my goodness, we have made a huge mistake.
So you're continuing as far as you know, through the future on the bikes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Correct. Yes.
Well, I don't say it enough, but I should say it more, that this doesn't have to be an all or nothing deal. I mean, If you only do it for a year and then you find, and a lot of this happens a fair amount. People find the perfect place to live and they buy a piece of land or a piece of land with a small and build something small on it. And then that becomes the home base they're based out of.
And that's the way we've always looked at it. We said, let's just take it off for the summer. And I think in our minds, summer was like the end of August. And, now we're like, well, let's just continue as long as we like. At the point, I kind of feel like the movie Forrest Gump, where he's running and he's running and he's running. And then at one point he just stops and he's like, okay, I'm done. And he goes home. So I kind of feel like at some point we might hit that end game and say, we're kind of done and let's go do something. Let's pivot and do something different.
And it's not for everybody. This life, as you know, it's not for everybody. Yeah. But there's so much that you can do. It's no matter what age you are, you can change and do something completely different.
Yes.
And look at the memories you're going to have.
Yes.
Whatever in the memories are the most valuable thing in life. And I think that's what people regret when they come to the end.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I guess the way I look at it, and I said it before, I just kind of view that as empty nesters, we have this clean slate.
People write to me all the time and say, well, Bob, what if I hate it? And I say, well, look at the memories you're going to have, and you will treasure those more than anything else you've ever had, I think.
Yeah,
and,
that's right.
Well, Richard and Chris, we really, really appreciate you visiting with us. I think you've offered a lot of insight into the options that are available to people, and I admire your courage and just going and learning what's out there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you. Welcome. And thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
And remind people again of your social media. Everyone should go subscribe to your channel and Instagram and Facebook. Go ahead and tell us that again.
All right, go to Two Wheels Big Life, and that's Two Wheels Big Life on Facebook, on YouTube, and Instagram. All the social medias. Two Wheels Big Life.
Very good.
We also have a website also that's the same thing. Two Wheels Big Life. It'll all drive you to the same place.
Very, very good. Everyone go subscribe and check that out. So folks, I really do encourage you to go check out their channel. What we've done is they have shot a tour of their very long tour, because it's a lot to see, of their motorcycles and their camp. And so stay tuned for that. That'll come up next. And I'm sure you got something out of this video. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later.